Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I have another Mixed Media Frenzy hop for you. We are taking inspiration this time from that photo you see up there of a layout that Missy Whedon did. So let's go ahead and get started. I am definitely going to use a lot of color on this layout like in the sample photo. And I pulled out a bunch of old spray mists that I had in my stash, and this is a mixture of Tattered Angel products and I believe a Diane Reevely. And I am just giving some spritzes to just a simple sheet of cardstock. It's just basil cardstock, nothing special here, no gesso, nothing like that. And that actually made my project dry really fast, which I appreciated. I did this layout from start to finish, filming and everything in 20 minutes. So you can get some lovely mixed media techniques without having to worry about it taking forever. So I am making a mess is what I'm doing. I realized partway through spraying that I was spraying my laptop while I was filming, and I didn't want to do that, so I grabbed a piece of cardstock and covered up my laptop, and at some point along the way I realized my photo was sitting on the table too, so I tucked that under the cardstock of my laptop. So here I am moving on to the next part of this layout. There was like a grid texture on the inspiration piece, and instead I am using an embossing folder with a floral texture, and I embossed both sides, that side, and I rotated and embossed the other side with this floral pattern. I know it's not showing up too well on the photo, or on the video rather, but as you see here, I am just using those same spray inks, a little bit of water, and my finger, and I'm kind of rubbing this color over that embossed texture, and that helps reveal the texture a little bit more. And I'm using this green, which because these products are old, that green nozzle was clogged, and so I'm just adding some green to, this is just a plastic palette that I have, but you could use just any, scratch piece of plastic that you have. And so I made use of that green, even though I couldn't get it to spray on my layout. I did add it in here with this bit of texture back here. So I'm just going to trim these down because I cut my cardstock a little bit larger than in the embossing folder. I'm just happy to give it a quick trim down, and then once I've got both pieces done, I did edge them in some black ink because I like the black as a pop against all the colors, and that was definitely something in the inspiration piece. And there you saw me quickly trim my photo down, and I'm going to mat it on some black cardstock for more of that black pop. And these are photos of my daughter releasing butterflies that we raised back in the spring. And we kept finding plenty of things to do despite being locked down. So this butterfly project was actually inspired by my younger daughter, but the older one got involved when it was time to let them go. So we got to take some lovely photos with those butterflies. All right, next up, I'm going to die cut my title out of more black cardstock, and that was definitely something that was in the inspiration piece. And I have this little mini die cut machine that I can just pop onto my table, and I love this thing, you guys. I won it as a prize, and I wasn't sure I was going to love it, but I do. I love it. It's so convenient. And it's from We Are Memory Keepers if you're interested in something of that size. So I'm going to start assembling everything, and I had a moment of struggle with my glue, but once I got that resolved, we were back on track. So I just kind of tilted my textured pieces there as the layout behind my photo, and I was thinking about whether I wanted those photos to be two separate photos, one on each of those mats, but I decided I really liked them as one unit and kind of just slightly hanging off the edge of that background. So that's where I went with that. And then I'm just going to use some liquid glue with a fine tip. I believe this is Art Glitter Glue. It's a newer glue to me. And I really like the fine tip that they have available. It's a separate add-on there. So I glued that down, and then I am going to go ahead and add my journaling. I don't usually journal on camera, so I'll speed you through it, but this was how the journaling was done in the piece also. And then after I journaled, I added some lines under there, and as long as my journaling block is small enough, I feel okay with doing it that way. It's not going to get too crooked on me. So a finishing touch here is to add a border to this page. Now the inspiration had stitching because I wanted this to be a quick layout. I didn't want to throw on stitching. And this is something I do often, is just a wonky border, especially with mixed media. It helps as a finishing touch there. And then I'm going to grab a butterfly punch, and I think that's just a Michaels brand butterfly punch, and some sheets of mixed media that I've got left over from other projects. And I punched out 1,000,000 butterflies, and I made that go by quickly so you wouldn't have to watch me punch butterflies. And then I am just going to glue a flutter of these butterflies up the side of my page, and I will add a couple of them down around my journaling to keep the flow going on the layout. I give it a look and try to think if I want to do more detail here, but I'm just going to add the date and call it good. Sometimes layouts can be simple and fast, and you don't have to stress out about it. So I hope you enjoyed this layout. I'm going to leave you here with a couple of close-up photos, but remember that this layout is part of the Mixed Media Frenzy Hop, so do check my links and check out the other designers' layouts for this same inspiration piece. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a like, and I will see you next time.